Hi friends, welcome to biologyexamsforyou.com. Today's topic of our discussion is classification of pteridophytes within 5 to 10 minutes. At the end of this discussion, you will be able to understand the definition of pteridophytes, an outline of pteridophytes classification systems, and we will be using an example to explain the characteristics of each divisions of pteridophytes. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing this channel. How can we define pteridophytes? Pteridophytes, as you see, are beautiful plants. The word pteridophytes is derived from a Greek word pteron, which means feather, and phyton means plant or feather-like plants. They are spore-bearing, seedless vascular plants or can be called as vascular cryptogams. They are the first land plants and mostly terrestrial, but some are aquatic like Azolla, Salvinia and Marsilia. They were the dominant plants during Carboniferous period. Now let us move into the detail of classification system. This classification system is the most widely accepted classification system and is a summary of classification proposed by Smith, Bolt, Benson, Zimmerman, Cronquist and Thaktajan. According to these teratologists, Pteridophyta is divided into 4 divisions. The first division is Psilophyta, Lycophyta, Sphenophyta and Pterophyta. Psilophyta is the most primitive group. Lycophyta, also called as lycopods, Sphenophyta, also called as horsetails, Pterophyta are the most widely distributed and most advanced, called as ferns. Now let us move into the characteristics of each divisions. First division is Psilophyta. Let's take an example. Psilotum belongs to Psilophyta. As you can see, the characteristics are, these plants are rootless, this is rhizoid or root-like structure, and are having a photosynthetic stem, dichotomously branched. Leaves are often absent. The spore-bearing structure is called as synangium. This is an enlarged view. It is a trilobed structure. Only single type of spore is formed, therefore it is homosporous. It germinates to form a gametophyte that forms both antheridium and archegonium, or male and female sex organs, that produces sperm and egg that fertilizes to form the zygote. Zygote germinates to form the sporophytic plant again. So this is a homosporous plant, and this is the most primitive group. Now let us summarize the characteristics. Psilophyta, they are the primitive, rootless with rhizoids, dichotomously branched, photosynthetic stem. Leaves are often absent. The stele is protostelic, that means central xylem that is surrounded by phloem. We have given a detailed video on different types of steles in pteridophytes. You can refer that for more. Homosporous spore-bearing structure is called as synangium. Fossil genera include Rhynia and Horneophyton. Living genera include Psilotum and Mesopteris. Moving into the second division, that is Lycophyta, also called as lycopods. This is Lycopodium, Lycopodium serenum. Now let us explain the characteristics using this life cycle. As you can see, the plant body is well differentiated. It is having a rhizomatous stem with roots. Leaves are microphyllous. Spores are arranged into strobilus or cones. This Lycopodium is also homosporous, producing a single type of spore on germination, forming a gametophyte that forms both sex organs, antheridium and archegonium, that produces egg and sperm, which fertilizes to form a zygote. Zygote on germination gives the sporophytic plant again. So this Lycopodium is also homosporous. But in this group there are some heterosporous plants like Selaginella. Now let us summarize the characteristics of Lycophyta. Differentiated plant body, microphyllous small leaves, protostele, sometimes siphonostele. Siphonostele is a stele with a pith at the center. Sporophylls organized to form cones, homosporous in the case of Lycopodium, heterosporous in the case of Selaginella. Gametophyte depends on fungus for food. Now moving to the third division, that is Sphenophyta or horsetails. Classical example is Equisetum. So let us explain the characteristics of this group using Equisetum. As you can see, well differentiated plant body with rhizomatous stem. Then there are roots. Stem is joined with nodes and internodes. As you can see from the nodal region, scale leaves are formed in whorls. Here also there is strobilus. Sporangia organized to form a cone or strobilus, which are homosporous, produces a gametophyte bearing both female sex organ archegonium and male sex organ antheridium that produces egg and sperm respectively, fuses to form the zygote and later germinate to form the sporophytic plant again. So this group is also homosporous. Let us summarize the characteristics. All are fossils except Equisetum. Differentiated plant body, stem jointed with nodes and internodes, scaly leaves seen as whorls around the node, sporangia forming strobili or cones. These are homosporous plants. And the final division or the most advanced group is Pterophyta, the ferns. We are very much familiar with these ferns. So the plant body is well differentiated with a rhizomatous stem with roots. Then the leaves are macrophyllous or big leaves, which is called as fronds. Young leaves shows this coiling, which is called as cercinate vernation. The spores in the case of Pteris is homosporous. The gametophyte has both male and female sex organ. It produces egg and sperm that fuses to form the zygote, and zygote gives rise to the sporophyte again. The sporophytic plant is dependent on the gametophyte at the beginning. Now let us summarize the characteristics. Ferns or Pterophyta are the most advanced and the most widely distributed pteridophytes. They are having a differentiated plant body, stem mostly rhizomatous, leaves are macrophyllous called as fronds. Young leaves shows cercinate vernation or spirally coiling during the young stage. Then stele, different types of stele, protostele, siphonostele, or the most advanced dictyostele, that is the stele with a leaf cap or a siphonostele with leaf caps. Sporangia is grouped to form sorus on the underside of the leaf. In some ferns, there are some other organized structure like sporocarp in Marsilia, where sporangia is organized to form a special structure called sporocarp. Pteris is homosporous, but Marsilia is heterosporous, forming two types of spores. Anthrozoids are multiflagellated. So these are the characteristics of 4 divisions of Pteridophyta. Let me summarize. Pteridophyta are spore-bearing, seedless vascular plants. It is classified into 4 divisions. They are Psilophyta, Lycophyta, Sphenophyta, and Pterophyta. Psilophyta are the most primitive group, and Pterophyta or ferns are the most advanced and the most widely distributed. Hope you understand the classification. Thank you so much for your support. If you find this video useful, please subscribe. You are with biologyexamsfory.com.